Hi there, my name is Dan and I want to share with you my experience of owning this beautiful coupe with a massive 5-litre V8 engine. This stupid coupe, a performance car of this age. This CLK500 is almost 18 years old and it has the famous Mercedes engine which they put in a lot of 500 series in the early 2000s. It produces 306 brake horsepower and 450 Newton meters of torque, which gives you an acceleration from 0 to 60 in just 5.8 seconds. I bought this car in January 2020 and since then I've covered 3,500 miles on it, and I'm ready to give you a little perspective of how is it to own a performance car of this age. It was well maintained before me, but after buying it I decided to change the engine oil and the air filters. It doesn't cost that much, but it gives you the extra confidence that your engine has all the vital needs. Also, because the maintenance history didn't mention anything about the spark plugs, I decided to change them as well, which is not an easy job to do given that there's 16 of them. So the initial service after buying the car cost me £230, not including the labor, as I've done everything myself on the driveway. Also, not long after buying the car, on an evening drive with a friend of mine, I discovered that my wipers decided not to work anymore. So that turned out to be a worn out cable in the indicator stalk, which cost me £50 second hand on eBay, and I had that replaced myself. I have noticed that the car was pulling slightly to the left and I had to take it for a wheel alignment, which required unjamming one of the alignment bolts as well. It cost me £43, including the 50% discount that I had for national tires. My next issue was the heating system, which would not blow into the driver's seat area and would make a horrible clicking sound under the dashboard every time you put the key in the ignition. Before I could do anything about it, I needed a full diagnostics on the heating system, which would tell me the exact location of the problem, and that cost me £83. I knew already this will be a painful thing to fix, so I gathered all my courage, rolled up my sleeves, and started what turned out to be a week's worth of work and a complete carnage inside. This is your warning: if you are a sensitive person, please close your eyes for the next 2 seconds. This whole process didn't cost much, as I got the broken stepper motor at a scrapyard for £10, but it definitely took a lot of time. So again, labor was not included, as this was happening during the lockdown and there was nothing better I could do anyway. While I was head deep in the dashboard, or better to say in the place where it's supposed to be, my windscreen decided to crack overnight. I blame the heat, but again, this windscreen wasn't changed for 17 years, so it was time for it to give up. This is a car ruining my shot. Hi car. One second. It's gone now. While I was head deep in the dashboard, or better to say in the place where it was supposed to be, my windscreen decided to crack overnight. I blame the heat, but again, it was 17 years old and it was about time it would give up. This has been fixed through the insurance company and it cost me £115. Other than this, the car has no issues to report and it has been so much fun every single day I drove it. So the total amount of money I spent on this car is almost £850 since the day I bought it. This figure will definitely change as I'll be preparing the car for the MOT in October, but that is a different topic. Now let's talk about fuel, and this is the biggest expense you will have with a massive engine like this one. I sat down and I scrolled through all my bank transactions since the day I bought the car, and I put them all onto a spreadsheet that looks like this. As you can see, since the day I bought the car I spent almost £900 on fuel, and that lasted me, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, for 3,500 miles. Now, we all know that fuel prices have changed a lot during the coronavirus pandemic, and I've used an average of 1.15 to be able to come up with an MPG consumption, which worked out to be just under 21 miles per gallon. This is not a lot, but I have to remind you that this car is being properly driven on high revs. Otherwise, why would you buy a V8 if you want to drive it like a diesel Corsa? There's a car coming again, sorry. Many of you petrol heads know that a car cannot stay too long without being modified or tweaked, so please stay tuned for my next video where I'll show you my ideas for this car. One thing is for certain, it needs a better sounding exhaust, because with all its mighty 5-litre engine, it still sounds like a 2-litre. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it gives you a sneak peek into how is it to own an old V8 like this one, and maybe convince you to buy or not to buy one. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a like. If you didn't like it, don't dislike it, still give it a like. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye. You own a V8 like this one. Pigeon! Beautiful coupe. Don't look that way. Keep in the dashboard. Okay. One last time.